Hello, my name's Amanda, and I am the PM of the Apron project, and here is the rest of our lovely team who helped make it possible. Some of them will be taking you on more detailed sections on how exactly we came to be later on, but essentially what Apron is a digital product aimed at immigrants in the UK to cook home-cooked dishes directly in their kitchen and then sell them to whomever wants an authentic home-cooked meal. The goal of Apron is to reduce the inequalities immigrants in the UK face, since it's a large international transit hub that a lot of people migrate to. So, what we wanted to do was we wanted to help these immigrants supplement their income with their own cooking skills, since they might be struggling to find their financial footing in a new land, or maybe they're just feeling disconnected with their new neighbors. Either way, food is something that they can turn to and rely on, and we just really wanted to empower those aspects with Apron. Um, we actually wanted to base our operations within Canada at first, but after conducting our own research analysis of what it might look like for us, we came to the conclusion that the United Kingdom was a much better fit for Apron, as there were multitudes of legal issues that would have been just waiting for us in Canada. The laws in the UK actually support these kinds of home cooked sales, so that's why we chose to base our operations here. Now I'll be passing it off to Jasmine, who will be speaking more about our business side.
As mentioned by Amanda, Apron was created with the goal of reducing inequality. Our cost structure directly reflects this mission, as it is important we are supporting the chefs on the platform in the best way that we can. We operate under a cost-driven model, so our business will be generating revenue through a small percentage fee of 10%. There are no additional charges for the chefs to set up on our platform. However, they do have the option to pay an additional small fee for marketing help. We understand that relying on just this method of generating revenue will not be enough, so we will also be exclusively partnering up with Deliveroo for delivery services so they can also assist with some of our development costs. We will also be applying for additional funding from Can Export SME. Taking a look at our current income statement, we are operating under a net loss. That is to be expected and should not hinder our growth into the future. We plan to pitch to additional investors in our upcoming seed round in the next year and reinvest some money into the business, such as for hiring in-house roles like a growth marketing specialist and market expansion coordinator. Our current investment in paid ads should also set us up for reduced costs in the future, as we hope to place a stronger emphasis on organic growth methods, steadily reducing paid methods, and expanding onto additional social platforms for increased outreach. Now, taking a closer look at marketing, we as a team wanted to ensure that our brand's message was loud and clear through our marketing initiatives. Our main priority is to capture 10% of the food market share at the end of 3 fiscal years. We're maintaining a combination of paid ad campaigns, newsletter campaigns, and organic social media outreach to reach these goals. We will be managing 2 social channels, a Facebook page and Instagram account. In these channels, we'll be actively engaging with our users to get feedback, post updates, and ensure that the Apron community is involved and eager to see more from us. As mentioned before, there is the option for chefs to request for additional marketing help. This is a paid feature and will include exclusive access to resources and assets provided by the team to help with chefs that solely want to focus on their craft and leave the promotional heavy lifting to the Apron team. We want to continue to expand and build upon this service in the future and increase its value and awareness on the platform. Many of these pre-made assets can be used on the chef's personal pages to further promote their storefront and will also strengthen our brand visibility as well. For example, on the slide, we have some possible CTA logo options that chefs can attach onto their page. This is all made possible due to the strong visual design system that we have implemented within the business.
Iteration 1 for our group is where we began to work on the visual components for our brand. In this iteration, we started with a session where everyone came together to collect their thoughts on a mood through colors. This is the final color palette that we decided upon. As we discussed and developed this idea, we had a couple key points that we wanted to convey with colors, such as fresh, friendly, and energetic. We also made note to avoid colors that have a strong association with major holidays or events. During the process, we noticed that since we were working on it together, we ended up in the situation of having too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the broth, resulting further work to be clearly divided within the team. By iteration 2, we had to flesh out the finer details of our style guide and design system. Previously, we had been using the Chakra UI asset library as a placeholder for some of our features. It was in this iteration that we created our own components and implemented them in our high-fidelity mockups. At the end of this iteration, the visual design team did a sweep of our prototypes to check that they were in line with the design system and style guide that we had set, and that everything was cohesive. With our prototypes finalized, the next step was to take feedback from the UX team to amend any oversights that we in the visual design section might have missed. One of the amendments that had to be made was to clarify hierarchy of information on the screens and concurrently the layout. With their input, the style guide went through major adjustments, but was effective overall. Our current style guide reflects the mood and values that we had set out to represent, and have evolved along with our needs as the project progressed. We find that it complements our prototypes well, but to further enhance our visual components, we would introduce our own set of icons.
In terms of UX research, we based our personas on by proxy research because we were not able to get a lot of responses from surveys or be able to get any interviews. So one of the things that we learned from our customer persona was the importance of being able to filter food by categories. Our out-of-the-box process has changed at least throughout the iterations, the most notable things being the colors of the buttons to be less intense for the eyes, the landing page of the website to better mimic Uber Eats and DoorDash, which would be more familiar with our user, and a compiled resource page for those who fail our screening rather than interrupting the chef with resources after each question. Chefs can create an account and access their dashboard even if they fail the screening, but will not be able to publish their menus and restaurant publicly on the website. This encourages chefs to return to our website after getting the documents needed to pass the screening rather than switching to another service. A new feature we added in the second iteration and further developed upon the third was the chef dashboard in runtime page. This would allow the chef to change items on their menu, look at their sales and history, and look at their order progress and manage orders in general. We were inspired by pages like the Etsy's merchandise account view and DoorDash's in terms of the sales and history page and the home page. In future steps, we would like to create more interactions on the menus page, like dragging the items up and down, as well as creating a settings page. We realized towards the end of the second sprint that we required a way for the chef to switch between their dashboard and customer mode, since chefs could also be customers with the same account. One of the major changes influenced by usability testing was the layout of the favorites near you. This was the old prototype. The order of the information currently has the chef's name in the subheading and the title of the dish at the top, which contradicts the layout of the rest of the page. Additionally, if you click on the dish, it will take you straight to the checkout page, which is slightly confusing. We decided to make the section more consistent, and this resulted with what you see here. After clicking on the dish, you will land on Sujin's kitchen, which is like the chef's page. And here you can order the ganjatang. After users explained that going straight to checkout was too sudden and did not match the interactions on more popular delivery apps, we decided to create a page in between to allow the user to look once more over the menu before pressing the cart on the nav bar and seeing their order and proceeding to checkout. Users also mentioned the importance of being able to double-check their order after placing it, which you can see here. The final addition, which was developed towards the end of the iteration, was the customer runtime before signing up. The user would be able to browse kitchens, but not be able to place an order unless they signed up first.
So that's basically where we are and how we got to this point in time with Apron. And honestly, we've come so far over these past 4 months. It's kind of incredible. We went from these long 2-hour work sessions with everybody present to more asynchronous work with, status updates instead. We had this Notion Kanban board where we tracked all of our tasks and we kept it updated pretty regularly throughout the term. We just learned how to work together overall, and I'm very proud of us. But there's still a lot to be done with regards to Apron. For example, we'd like to secure more funding. We are looking into creating a pitch deck and raising a seed round. We'd also like to create a mobile app version of Apron because we understand that not everybody likes to use their computer for these types of things. And we'd also like to flesh out our visual design system as well. This includes stuff like, creating our own icons and everything. But overall, the future of Apron is looking bright.